We head now on assignment with National Geographic magazine to document this changing landscape. Late into the night, flames flare over the landscape. This mining operation continues 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Extracting oil from just beneath the surface of what was once Canadian wilderness.
I could just cry when I see what they've done to our land. So you just see, that's all you could see is the sand as far as you could see. Nothing, there's nothing, not even one stick, not even one tree standing.
This is Canada's Boreal, one of the largest forests on Earth. It's Northern America's nesting spot for billions upon billions of birds that migrate across North America, and even as far as South America. It's also the site of something called oil sands, a naturally occurring mix of sand and a thick form of petroleum known as bitumen. Bitumen must be heavily processed before it becomes crude oil, then turned into gasoline and diesel fuels. This section of northern Alberta has the largest amount of oil sand in the world, and some estimates suggest Alberta's oil reserves are comparable to those of Saudi Arabia. But to get to this oil, Canada has been strip mining large sections of former wilderness. National Geographic magazine photographer Peter Essick journeyed to Fort McMurray to capture the changing landscape.
You can take pictures sort of the wilderness part, which is sort of the trees and the muskeg that hasn't been developed. And then you can take a picture of some of the mining, the big trucks. But I was trying to show some ways that you could see sort of the connection between sort of the wildlife or the nature and the mining.
First, the forest is cut down. Topsoil is removed and the sand collected by enormous shovels. It's then carried by dump trucks to a processing facility. Each truck can carry almost 400 tons of oil-rich sand. After processing, the synthetic crude is shipped via pipeline to refineries in the United States. Canada has been extracting oil here for almost a century, but higher fuel prices in recent years and new processing technologies have led to a major oil boom. This part of Alberta has been completely changed.
You're looking at high rent costs, high food costs, and high fuel costs.
It's just money, and it's all over the place. And the jobs are all over the place. In Alberta, there's 10 jobs for one person.
People's lives have been changed, some for the worse, but many arguably for the better. But conservationists say the landscape is also being changed for the worse. They worry that stripping the boreal forest of thousands of square miles of forest is hurting a major ecosystem. Some argue that destruction in the boreal forest is a major contributor to global warming. The forest is so enormous that it helps control the Earth's thermostat. Its wetlands and bogs absorb carbon, helping cleanse the atmosphere of the greenhouse gases that contribute to higher temperatures throughout the world.
This is the peat. It's spongy, there's no strength to it. This is accumulated carbon from millennia. It's been exposed now to the surface, the protective cover's been removed, and all the carbon that's been stored in this is starting to come back out into the atmosphere. Development across the boreal is going to continue to do this. We don't know how much, we don't know what the ultimate result's going to be.
Already, temperatures here are climbing, while there's been a corresponding drop in rain and snow. But the country is not planning to stop oil sand processing anytime soon. Dozens of companies are planning nearly 100 more projects worth $100 billion. Canada is working to reduce the amount of greenhouse emissions and to take back land that's been stripped in the mining process. But some conservationists hope large sections of the boreal forest will be set aside and protected from future strip mining.
By having a large, undeveloped area where wildlife can move and adapt to change, we may be able to protect them from some of the worst impacts of global warming. As climate change is affecting their habitat, they'll be able to migrate into other areas if we set aside millions and tens of millions of acres in large, intact natural landscapes.
It would seem the needs of humans, wildlife, and the planet's thermostat are in conflict in this oil-rich region.